feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I hate it, clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm on a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the code, had to break it safe. I've been riding my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Roddy Rich and so bicycle love me. Right away, then my heart went on ice again. Find the balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. Popping up on your side like we out of bounds. Ain't no way that they think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
What's up, football fans, and welcome to the Air It Out podcast brought to you by Inside the Hashes. That's right, I'm your host. My name is Avery Collins, and I have two of the greatest analysts on planet Earth here joining me today. The one, the only, the soon-to-be 1+1, the GOAT, if you will. Juan, say what's up to the people.
Good morning, people. I just want to say we are finally out a week where we can look forward to a real NFL game. And yeah, college football starts today, but this ain't the college football podcast. You got to tune in for the other one I think it's Wednesday night. I'm sorry. Yeah, every Wednesday night. So this is the NFL podcast, and we are so ready for it.
That part, ladies and gentlemen, is the Air It Out podcast. You know, we talk everything pro football. You know what I mean? Chris Thomas is back in the building, ladies and gentlemen, with the second best beard in the business. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's going on, people? So I actually like this 10 o'clock start time. It actually opens up for me to be here more often. And who else to spend the day than two of my favorite people in the world? During football season, basketball is a completely different story.
This is true.
Hold on. I'm getting a call. Hello. Championships in the last 5 years. Oh, Butts, is that you? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, call me when you hit 4. You know. Anywho, yeah, we're not the NBA podcast, the NFL podcast, and so today we're going to be talking all things NFL sports. And so, I mean, I don't know how you fellas feel. Do you guys want to just jump right in, or how do you guys feel about it? Okay, we'll just jump right in. So we're going to jump right in with our first topic today. Today's topic, to start off, as you know, training camp over, preseason over. Rosters have been set across the NFL, which means there have been cuts after cuts after cuts. I mean, you had some teams go from 80 plus all the way down to 53 and so on. It's just so many people, unfortunately, have had their lifelong dream of playing in NFL dashed over the past couple of weeks. And so I want to know, what cuts surprised you? Who are you surprised that your team let go, or that another team let go? Let me know, what was a surprise cut for you? Chris, since you are a guest, I'll let you kick this off first.
I think out of all the names in regards to people getting cut, it probably has to go to the New England Patriots cutting Bailey Zappi. You know, Zappi last year started 2 games. He was 2-0 in those starts. You know, in relief to an injured Mac Jones, he played in a few other games in regards to if Mac Jones was either hurt or at that point just played so poorly to the point where Belichick decided to make a change. This was shocking because you would at the very least want to keep a guy that has been in your system for a season and a half, knows your system, knows the offense, but I really don't understand this move now. Mac Jones is really the only quarterback on your roster right now. So I understand that you want to give some assurance that Belichick does in regards to making sure that Mac Jones is your guy and you want to stand 10 toes down on that. But making sure that he's the only quarterback, especially when you're going up against one of the most dangerous pass rushes in all of football in the Philadelphia Eagles, is not really a good sign.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
They did bring Matt Corral in from the Panthers, to be his quote unquote backup, and they brought Bailey back to like the practice squad. I'm gonna hop onto that bandwagon a little bit before I give my real answer. In the same team, different quarterback, Malik Cunningham looks great in the preseason. Is part of that new evolution of quarterbacks who are much more. Not, I would say run focused, but much more elusive in the pocket. And he had a pretty decent arm, to be honest. Plus, they had him play multiple positions in the preseason. You had like a versatile weapon. Why let him go?
Yeah. Not, yeah. Okay. Malik wasn't as much of a surprise to me as Zappy was, but I hear where you're coming from. Do you have anybody else, or was that your guy?
I'll stick to the quarterback position, but this one's much older. Colt McCoy with the Arizona Cardinals. This is an obvious tank job by the Arizona Cardinals if you're letting go of your probably only veteran presence at the quarterback position, especially with Kyler going on the PUP list. You went 3-3 as a starter the last 2 years. No surprise, Colt McCoy is not the answer. But he's also not. Well, but he's also not the problem. The fact of the matter is, with Colt gone, they only have 2 quarterbacks on the roster. The first one they just traded for, Josh Dobbs, who, fun fact, was at one point studying to be a rocket scientist. But either way, like, he comes into this team. He's a journeyman quarterback. He gets traded from the Browns right before the deadline for the cuts. And now he's in a quarterback competition with a 5th-round rookie draft pick named Clayton Tune. And those are the 2 teams that are going to be leading the Arizona. And those are the 2 quarterbacks that are going to be leading the Arizona Cardinals this season. So it's an obvious tank job. I would love to know what messages are on Steve Wilkes' burner phone from the Arizona Cardinals concerning this second attempted tank job by Arizona.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not mad at those picks. I definitely was going to say Zappy in there for sure. Like I said, that one definitely surprised me. It surprised me. But I'm going to be a homer, and I'm going to talk about somebody else in the league. Number one, I'll start with the other team in the league. I was surprised that the Bears cut P.J. Walker. Not to say that I thought P.J. Walker was going to start over Justin Fields or anything like that. But just because of we've seen P.J. Walker come in and be a excellent change of pace backup quarterback, an excellent guy who can kind of hold the ship down. Does he blow you out of the water? No, but he can steady the tide. He can steer the ship. In the meantime, if, let's say, Justin Fields gets hurt or something like that, right? And so we've seen Justin Fields last year with the partially torn rotator and how that affected him last year, and how it affected his throwing. We saw him going obviously a fantasy tear running football, but he was limited in the passing game. Hopefully and prayerfully, that's not the case this year, right? Hopefully he's fully healthy, but it did kind of shocked me that they would let somebody of that caliber of backup quarterback go, if that makes sense. Again, I don't believe that PJ has solidified himself as a starter, but just kind of threw me off. But I'm going to be a homer here, and I'm going to say Michael Walker. Michael Walker from the Atlanta Falcons was a surprise cut for me, just because I believe he had a career year last year. He had 100 and I think 20 plus tackles last year. I don't believe he missed any games. He kind of had a standout year last year, and I believe he was I think that was his third year. So that was a kind of a surprise for me. But I understand if a guy's out playing with him, out playing him. If a guy is shining on film in the preseason, then you gotta, it's more of a business decision anyway. I think Michael is going to be fine. I don't believe that he's going to. I don't believe that he's going to no longer be in the NFL. I think he's going to find a roster spot for sure. And I guess the last one isn't necessarily a cut, but it's one we've talked about. It's obviously Trey Lance being traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Still kind of a surprise to me. Not that Trey wasn't the starter, but that he actually did get traded and for what he got traded for. So a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah, Avery, if you're going that route, then another one that was a surprise is the fact is Boogie Basham's getting traded from the Bills to the Giants. I mean, the last thing the Bills really need to do is give away any more of their pass rush, especially with Von Miller missing several games. And Boogie Bashams wasn't just, another guy. This is a guy that they spent a second-round pick on not too long ago, back during the 2021 NFL draft. So trading him for really nothing, for little draft capital, and not having, Von Miller for at least the first month, this is going to be rough sailing for that defense.
I think you still have I think his name is Greg. I forget his name. He's I think he was a third-year pass rusher that they drafted in the first round.
Gregory Rousseau.
You still have Gregory Rousseau developing. You still got Ed Oliver down the middle, but there's now a lack of depth in regards to your pass rushers in that defense. Let's hope your secondary can hold on long enough for them to get to the backfield. It stays on the defensive side with secondary. Bradley Roby with the Saints getting released. He looked like he was going to be the starting slot corner going into it. Wasn't getting he was getting the typical non-veteran reps going into it. But then all of a sudden it looks like the staff loved Alontae Taylor, the second-year DB. And they're taking a risk on a young kid, and they cut Roby, and he'll most likely just make his way back to Denver, where, surprise, surprise, a former Saints head coach is currently the leader. And I'll be a homer one more for this last one. Jerome Kapp, the wide receiver for the Jets. He might not have shown a lot as a prospect with regards to his receiving skills. He looked like a decent special teamer when he was out there blocking for the returners. And also his Eminem rap in episode 3 of Hard Knocks was just impressive.
Bruh. Anyway, I guess I'll stick with the theme with one that wasn't necessarily a cut, but a trade that surprised me, which was talking about the Giants, Simmons. The Giants acquiring Simmons from Arizona was a shock to me. Not because I think Simmons is like some otherworldly player. I just feel like he has so much potential. I believe it's a way better fit in New York than it was in Arizona for sure. So I'm happy for Simmons getting that shot to play in that defense. But I was just kind of shocked with the versatility of the player, the potential of the player that Arizona would move on from him. And then another one who was a cut that surprised me was James Robinson, sticking with the Giants. That kind of messed with me a little bit as well, just looking at one, we talk about this running back market. We talk about, running backs always getting hurt and different things. And we've seen Saquon have, some injuries and different things like that. Thankfully, last season, he was fully healthy, and we saw what he can do when he's fully healthy. But just having just another change of pace, hard nose, kind of go straight at you, thunder type of running back, I think that would have just, to me, solidified that backfield just a little bit more. So I was kind of surprised by that cut as well. So, all right, you guys gave some pretty good ones there. Some pretty good ones there. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Okay, but we're gonna jump into the next topic. And so the next topic is way too early, of course. But you know how we do this on the Air It Out podcast. We do things that are way too early. And so I want to know, okay? I want to know who's winning what this year. Who is winning what this year? I'm talking about yearly awards, people. Okay. Now let me see here. Do I want to go all yearly awards, or do I want to just do a couple? We're just gonna do a couple this week. We're gonna do a couple this week. So this week I want to know. Give me offensive and defensive rookie of the year. And then give me offensive and defensive player of the year. Okay? I need rookie of the year on both sides of the ball. And then I need player of the year on both sides of the ball. But we have to start with the 1+1.
Well, I'll start backwards. Defensive rookie of the year. I'm going to give it to a guy on Chris Thomas's team. That's a Mr. Jalen Carter, also known as Baby Rhino, down the middle. He's been really impressive in camp so far. He's been a dominant force like he was in Georgia. The kid is slowly rising from what he was perceived to be when he was entering the draft, with all the speculation regarding his legal issues and whether or not that would bring him down. But if anything, he is pushing through them. He is getting through. I could see at least a double-digit season coming out of Jalen Carter in his rookie season this year, because he looks that dominant and he looks that powerful. For offensive rookie of the year, I'm going to go with the other homer in the audience, and Mr. Bijan Robinson. The kid is phenomenal. The kid, the training camp video has been astounding. The preseason game video has been astounding. He's a do-it-all kind of running back, very versatile. You can put him out into the slot. He can run a perfect route, run him down the middle. He can knock a guy down. Not to mention, he's already a featured back in an offense that is very run heavy. By Arthur Smith. So if anything, I'm expecting at least 1,200 yards rushing, maybe 700 yards receiving out of Bijan Robinson. Because they're going to be very dependent on him. Yes, they have Drake London in that offense, but it's just going to open up so much more for Bijan as an offensive weapon. Now, defensive player of the year, I'm going to give it to a team that my guy Chris hates. Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons. He is earning it at this point. More so deserves it. Last 2 years, he's had at least 13 sacks. As a rookie, he had 13. Last year was 13 and a half. That is consistent production out of this guy. He is as versatile he's a versatile linebacker when it comes to coverage, just as much as he is a deadly pass rusher when he's blitzing. At this point, I've already penciled him in for defensive player of the year. And then for offensive player of the year, bit of a wild card. I'm going with Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears. I think this is going to be a breakout year for the Ohio State product. I'm looking at a prime a 2019 Lamar Jackson style season to come out of him with DJ Moore on that offense. He's got a great new passing weapon that he could get to 4,000 yards with. Cole Kmet is a great tight end that you can dump it off to. It's all a matter of that offensive line could hold, but with his ability to move and get out of the pocket and run for big gains, Justin Fields is going to be that guy. I can feel it in my bones.
I like it, man. Hey, man, I feel like you're biting off me, though, a little bit. If you go back a couple episodes, I said Justin Fields will win the MVP. But I like it. I'm not mad at those picks. I'm not mad at those picks at all.
I got someone else winning MVP, baby.
Hey, listen, we'll see. Chris, talk to me. Offensive and defensive rookie of the year, and then defensive player of the year and offensive player of the year.
First of all, it just warms my heart how much you guys are now coming around to Justin Fields. Obviously, he has to prove it on the field this year. Third year, second year in the system, he's got to go out and prove it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be eating crow. I'm more likely going to be eating crow again. But
hello, mother.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for commenting. Defensive rookie of the year, probably going to be a homer. It's probably going to be Jalen Carter. From what I've been hearing, all the reports from the training camp, he's been our probably most dominant interior defensive lineman. That's even ahead, our veteran, former Pro Bowl, All-Pro Fletcher Cox. So I think he's going to get snaps early and often, and he's definitely going to make an impact. And really, we need it because after losing Javon Hargrave, we really need these young guys to step up. And if Carter is able to come in and definitely provide, immediate aid for our average run-stopping defense last year, then that's a major plus for us, in the one column this year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, normally it will go to a skill position player because it's easy for skill position players for you to scheme them, get them open. But I'm actually going to go different. I'm actually thinking it's going to be a quarterback this year. And I'm going to go with Avery's guy from the University of Alabama. I'm going to go with Bryce Young. From what I've been seeing from Bryce Young, from what you've saw in Alabama, last year, obviously he didn't have the top tier weapons, but the guy was still able to, get those guys to double-digit wins, a bowl win, and the guy is probably the most cerebral quarterback that has been able to come out of this class probably like in the last decade. The guy knows exactly how to take care of the football, knows exactly where to throw the ball to, and all the concerns about him being too small and him being able to take hits have kind of like dissipate after him seeing him take a few big shots in the preseason. I think Miles Sanders is definitely going to be a good combination in the backfield. I think if the offensive line is able to hold up, I think Jonathan Mingo, who's also a rookie out of Ole Miss, I think that connection is definitely going to be very potent. And, you have a reliable veteran, Adam Thielen, as well. So I definitely see Bryce Young going around 3,500 yards and at least like 20 to 25 touchdowns. And probably like really low in the interception column because he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. As far as defensive player of the year, I'm actually going to go a little hot take here. A cornerback is actually going to win the defensive player of the year for the first time since Charles Woodson back in 2010. And I'm actually going to go with Sauce Gardner.
Just a heads up, Stephon Gilmore won in 20.
Oh, Stephon Gilmore. Sorry about that. He was absolutely dominant last year, and now with him, even with now the spotlight's on him, and all this stuff is about reputation, and all this stuff is about, him getting the spotlight. Now with Aaron Rodgers there, they're going to get the spotlight. You're going to be against Stephon Diggs twice a year. You're going to be against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle twice a year. You're in a very vaunted, high-powered AFC offensive juggernaut. And if he's going to be able to have like a 2009 Darrelle Revis year, or even similar to what he had last year during his rookie year, because it's rare to see a rookie cornerback come in and have the year that he does, I think the award is his. And as far as offensive player of the year, it's gonna have to go to Justin Jefferson. I think he's gonna get the most targets out of any wide receiver this year because he's Justin Jefferson. He's gonna have the most. He's gonna have the Triple Crown this year. So I think if this point with the MVP still being a quarterback-based award now, kind of similar to what a Cy Young is, it's now up to the skill position players to be offensive player of the year. So with that, I'm definitely going to see Justin Jefferson of offensive player of the year.
I like it. Okay, so I'm going to not be a homer and pick Bijan Robinson for offensive rookie of the year. I'm not going to do that because, one, you did the honor for me. I appreciate that. I'm going to go a little curveball here. I'm not going to go quarterback. I am going to go skill position as juxtaposed to what Chris has already done with the quarterback. I'm going to go with Jackson Smith and Jabba. I think that this guy has potential to be like next level great. I mean, you're talking about speed. You're talking about the crispness of his routes. You talk about being able to create separation. You talk about all of those things that you want to see from a receiver. He has it. He literally has the whole package. My only question with him is just going to simply be durability and strength, right? But outside of that, I mean, I think he'll build strength over the course of the season, over the course of his career. But I mean, the guy, he just flashes, and I'm like, man, like there's there's not much on the field from a receiver standpoint that this guy really can't do. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go wild card here. Jackson is going to take the offensive rookie of the year. On the defensive side, because you guys both went Jalen Carter, I'm going to go with the guy picked before him, and I'm going to just throw a curveball and say I believe it's going to be Will Anderson. Will Anderson Jr. is going to win the defensive rookie of the year. I think he's going to flash. I think he's going to do what Aiden Hutchinson did for Detroit, which was just change how they even play defense, man. I think he's going to be that impactful. Call it a homer if you will, because he came from Bama. But I just think that the guy has all the tools to be successful in the league. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the defensive rookie of the year, even though I think all arrows point to Jalen Carter. I just wouldn't be surprised if he flashes. I mean, because he plays the linebacker position, he'll probably be more used primarily as a pass rusher. But if they drop him back in coverage, we've seen him be able to do that at Alabama as well. So I can foresee, let's say he gets a 13 sacks and 2 picks. I mean, that to me is it might be more impressive to me than, let's say, 15 sacks from a Jalen Carter. I don't know. It would depend on how they, how it came. So so that those are going to be my picks there for defensive player of the year. This one is tough. I love the Micah Parsons pick, and I love the Sauce Gardner pick. Those are actually really good picks, and I don't want to be a copycat. So I'm not going to be a copycat. I'm just going to copy the position. I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain. I think Patrick Surtain has every tool in the toolbox. The only question with Patrick Surtain is quickness. But, I mean, you talk about strength. You talk about patience. You talk about hands. You talk about knowing how to play the ball in the air. You talk about knowing how to shadow a receiver. You talk about I can put this guy on an island. And people forget about Patrick Surtain because of the season that Sauce had. But Patrick Surtain was arguably just as good as any corner in the NFL last year, including Sauce Gardner, including a Jalen Ramsey and all the other guys. Like Patrick Surtain, if I remember correctly, was ranked number 2 behind Sauce Gardner by PFF as far as who was the best corner in the NFL. So, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually wins Defensive Player of the Year. And I'll just throw out like an honorable mention that's not really honorable mention because he's really goated. TJ Watt. I listen, man. The guy is he's good. Let's just call it what it is. TJ Watt he's nice.
I took him on a defensive player fantasy team, so he better be nice.
TJ is nasty. He is special. I'm just gonna put it that way. He's special. So yeah. And then offensive player of the year. This one is tough. Offensive player of the year. So I heard Justin Fields, but he's going to be the MVP. So
just say Julio and let's move on.
That's a good one. No, offensive player of the year.
Don't even mention Matt Ryan.
Well, he might if he stops patting the football. Man. This one is tough. All right, I'm gonna go. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna stick with the theme of receiver, but I'm gonna go with the guy who I think has the potential to be the best receiver in the NFL. I do not believe that Justin Jefferson, I repeat, I do not believe that Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the NFL. I said it before. I will continue to say it. I think he's really great. I think he's top 5, but I do not believe he's number 1. I believe this guy that I'm about to mention has the potential to be number 1, and it's because he's not missing any tool in the toolbox. He blocks. Yes, I said it. He blocks as a receiver. He can catch the ball. He can run routes. He can do all of the things. And The reason I'm torn is because it's between him and another guy who plays a similar position. But I'm going to say
Devontae Adams.
that I believe Offensive Player of the Year is going to go to Jamar Chase, man. I think this guy, again, has potential to be the absolute best in the NFL. I mean, there's nothing missing from his game. He can go up top on you. He can take a 5-yard slant to the house. He can break you down. He can run routes. He can catch the football. He's strong at the point of contact. He can block downfield. He can do all of the things that you want from a receiver. He reminds me of a prime Odell Beckham. He is that good. Like he is special good. And the honorable mention, the guy I said that I was torn between is Deebo Samuel. And the reason Deebo is obviously because of his flexibility and versatility as somebody out of the backfield as well. I could absolutely see him winning Offensive Player of the Year. But I think because Jamar is going to be the focal point of that offense, kind of like Justin Jefferson is going to be the focal point of their offense, I just feel like Jamar has a little more explosion. And the guy, yeah, man, I honestly believe he has the potential to be the best receiver in the NFL this season.
It all depends whether or not like Joe Burrow is still healthy enough to, throw him the ball in that sense. I get it. The knee injury that he suffered wasn't as bad as we all expected, but this is Joe Burrow who came off a torn ACL on that knee. If it's Brandon Allen throwing passes to Jamar Chase, will the production be similar?
Absolutely, because you got to think he's going to depend on his best player. He's going to target him the most. He's going to be like, look, man, I'm going to Jamar. He's Jamar. I'm throwing it to him. Joe Burrow is more so because he knows who Jamar is, but because he's also Joe Burrow, he's going to spread the ball around. He's going to, because he's like, hey, listen, here you go, T. Take some of that. Here you go. Let's run the ball here. Joe mixing out the backfield. Okay, one time for the one time. Okay, here we go. Jamar, boom, 30 yards. Back up. Jamar, he's down there somewhere. I can see it happening, people. I'm just saying. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, enough about the awards. We'll get into the other awards next week. All right, but now it's time to talk about what we really came here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL season is upon us. It is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Well, not really. We still got a couple days, But Thursday night, the NFL officially kicks off with the Lions versus the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, the regular season of football, NFL football is back. That's right. I'm elated if you can't tell. I'm elated. I've been waiting for this. I love it. So we're going to get into this game preview. And I'm going to kick it to you, Chris, first. Talk to me. What do you want to see? What don't you want to see? What are you looking forward to? All the things. Talk to me.
Well, first off, I just want to see the game. I think that's first and foremost. Everyone be healthy as they possibly can. Limited injuries, in the end. These guys are players. Injuries do happen, but these people are human. But as far as the game is concerned, honestly, the Chris Jones suspension really hurts the Chiefs a lot more than I think people realize, because when you have a running back duo like a David Montgomery and a rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, who is just an absolute speed demon, and the Lions also have one of the better offensive lines in the NFL, this could be a trenches war that the Chiefs are not equipped in order to be fighting with, especially without arguably their best player not named Patrick Mahomes on the roster. So this is the break that the Lions could be looking for to start off, the season on the right foot. Everyone's picking them to win the NFC North. They're the trendy pick. But this could be a game in which the Lions could get the possible upset in Arrowhead.
Well, I'm not mad at that. I'm surprised you actually articulated it out loud, but I'm not mad at it. I mean, Detroit, they were definitely balling last year. So, okay. Not mad at you. Juan, talk to me, man. the resident Detroit Lion.
Y'all know what time it is. It's the first time I can do it this season.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's back.
Already, but I am picking the Detroit Lions to beat the Kansas City Chiefs this Thursday night. I have to agree with a lot of the points that Chris made. I have witnessed it myself. I have been at Lions training camp several times, and I can honestly say this team looks different. The vibe is different. The confidence is different. The swagger is different than what you have expected from a team that is coming off a 9-8 season. You know, a lot of people here, they're saying, oh, the Lions are going to regress. The expectations are too high. Bunk that. All right. I've witnessed that there's a youth movement and a veteran presence to guide it in this team. All right. Cam Sutton and CJ Gardner-Johnson have immensely improved that secondary position that was ranked last in the NFL last season. Down in the trenches, you have two great pass rushers in James Houston and Aiden Hutchinson going up against two new offensive tackles that the Chiefs have in I have it written down here somewhere, in Donovan Smith and Jason Taylor. Jawan Taylor, excuse me. And I think they're gonna eat those guys up, especially in a scheme that they only had like this offseason to get accustomed to. I don't think the Chiefs line is gonna be ready in time to go up against the Lions. The point of the game is to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, and with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery running down the field, plus Jared Goff checking down enough to keep the drives long and going, it's going to be astounding. Dan Campbell has changed the culture, not just for the Detroit Lions, but for the city of Detroit in general. I see a lot of hope. I've been seeing a lot of optimism in this city, and I think that the Detroit Lions are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go 35-31.
High scoring. Okay. Not mad at it, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't wait to see some NFL football that is meaningful, a game that matters. I'm at peace, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at peace. The NFL season is back, man. So yeah, no, it's gonna be a great game. To all the points that you guys mentioned, the Lions obviously last year looked really good. I believe Dan Campbell's a great coach. He's a player coach, but he also knows the ins and outs of the game. I believe that he's got this team fired up, and he's changed the culture in that locker room. I believe that the Lions really may have found their coach of the future, and I think they're going to really, really open some eyes moving forward. I think they're building a squad that is formidable. Like you cannot just count the Lions out. I mean, I think at this point the Lions' biggest question mark is going to be quarterback play, but I mean, Jared Goff is quote unquote game manager, a guy who just, you know, if the game isn't solely put on his shoulders, I believe he's just going to succeed. Outside of that, he knows how to, you know, make the right reads, get the balls to the guys that can make the plays, all of those different things. So yeah, I think the Lions are they're trending in the right direction. However, they're going up against the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, in Arrowhead Stadium. They're going to lose. As much as I like the Lions, as much as I think that they're going to be a formidable opponent, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. They're going to lose. It's the Kansas City Chiefs at home, opening the season, defending their trophy. Okay? I think that the Chiefs are going to come out and hit it hard, and I think they're going to win the game. I don't think it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think that the Chiefs are just going to solidify themselves and say, hey, last year wasn't a fluke. Patrick Mahomes is going to say, I won the MVP for a reason. That was legitimate. I heard all the Jalen Hurts talks and respect to him, but I won. I heard all the Eagles talk, and what they did was phenomenal, but we won it. Let me show you why we won it. And so I'm predicting a score of 35-24. Give me the Chiefs. What? No comment. No comment.
You're not wrong. So long as KC has Patrick Mahomes in the lineup, you can't go wrong. My question is, we saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes when he had no offensive support in the offensive line, and this defense isn't going to be able to block down the run as well as people think. Plus, they're going to get the Lions have a top 8 offensive line going up against a defensive line that has at best Carl Loftus as your best defensive interior player. I just feel like the Lions are going to pull the upset up over here. I'm rocking with them.
I would say this in that regard. Yes, you are right. We saw what Patrick Mahomes did without an offensive line. He made it to an AFC championship game. Did they lose? Yeah, but he made it to the AFC championship game with no offensive line. As far as stopping the run, contrary to popular belief, the Chiefs have always actually been better against the run without Chris Jones. He's more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman. They actually are better against the run without him. So we'll see what happens, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah. And I think people as far as the Lions concerned, Amon-Ra St. Brown has been battling injuries. They still have the suspension for Jameson Williams. So Jared Goff is, I think the timing in regards to his weapons is going to be off for the first couple of weeks. And as far as the Chiefs is concerned, think about it. You got another season with Kadarius Toney when Kadarius Toney gets back. Sky Moore is well integrated in the system. Isaiah Pacheco, Justin Ross, he's missed the first 2 years with injury, but he's been killing it now, in training camps and now securing a roster spot. And you still have probably the biggest mismatch throughout the entire league in regards to skill position players in Travis Kelce. And as long as you have Mahomes and as long as you have the offensive genius that is Andy Reid, it's going to be a long night for any defense coordinator.
I agree. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into the game picks, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to jump right into our game picks, okay? So as in typical aired out fashion, you get one explainer. You get to explain one of these games. The rest of them, I just want winner and loser. Winner and loser. That's it. You get one explain game. We're going to start with the one and only. One, talk to me. Game picks.
Well, I already picked, Thursday night matchup. So let's go down the list here. Atlanta at Carolina. I will take Atlanta in that matchup. I gotta remember. I gotta write these things I gotta write these picks down.
Oh yeah. Yes, please write them down.
Oh my God! So week 1, Detroit. I'm gonna take Atlanta on that one. I'm going to in Cincinnati at Cleveland. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. I'm going to take the Jags. Tampa at Minnesota. Well, it's an early game day, so is the power of Kirk Cousins going to show up? I do believe so. I'm going to take Minnesota in that one. Tennessee at New Orleans. I am taking the Saints. San Francisco at Pittsburgh. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. Arizona at Washington. I will take the Commanders. Houston at Baltimore. Definitely going to take the Ravens. Green Bay at Chicago. It's a toughie. I'm going to go with Jordan Love getting his first win of the season. Green Bay with that one. Las Vegas at Denver. Give me Denver. Philadelphia, New England. Give me the Eagles. Miami at Los Angeles. That's a really good one again. I'm gonna take the Chargers on that one. The Rams in Seattle. Give me the Seahawks. And the Dallas Cowboys at New York Giants. I will take the Dallas Cowboys. And then my explainer game, because of course you know it's my explainer game. The New York Giants against the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. This is going to be the premiere of Aaron Rodgers in a regular season game for the New York Jets. We already saw what he could do in the preseason with that beautiful touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson. It's all a matter of whether or not the offensive line can hold. Luckily, no Von Miller means an easier day at the against the pass rush for the offensive line, but it's all about whether or not they can get the ball down the middle. And that linebacking core for the Bills is no joke. Plus, the battle between cornerbacks and wide receivers on both teams is going to be epic. It's Sauce Gardner versus Stephon Diggs. It is Tre'Davious White versus Garrett Wilson. And I'm all for it. I think this is going to be an air raid attack between Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. I am going to take, because why not, the New York Jets to beat the Buffalo Bills on their first primetime football game of the season on September 11th. Let's go.
Not mad at you, Chris. Talk to me. Give me your game picks.
All right, let's see. I'm going with the Chiefs. In case no one got that. Carolina and Atlanta. Either Bijan Robinson is going to go off, or Bryce Young is going to have hey, this is the NFL. I'm here in the NFL. Sorry, I'm going to go with Carolina on this one. It's going to be a close one, though. I've got Cincinnati over Cleveland. Give me Jacksonville over Indianapolis. Give me Minnesota over Tampa Bay. And Tennessee with the upset over New Orleans. And I'm going to go, and I'm going to explain this game. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers over the San Francisco 49ers. From what I've been seeing throughout the entire training camp, from what I've been reading, this offense, second year with Kenny Pickett, has been looking very promising. Offensive line has another year to gel. I think Najee Harris is going to be due for probably the biggest year of his career. And this receiving core with Deontay Johnson, George Pickett, Freiermuth, these guys are definitely ready to take off. But to be honest, it's going to be, a game, the TJ Watt statement game, saying, hey, Nick Bosa, I understand you're trying to get the Aaron Donald money, but just because you're trying to get the Aaron Donald money doesn't mean you're the best pass rusher in the league. That belongs to me. And I think TJ Watt's going to have a 2.5 sack game. One of them is going to be a forced fumble. And it's going to be a statement game in which, the Steelers, hey, we ain't left for dead. We're still going to finish the season over 500. Heck, maybe we might make a playoff push. All right, for the rest of my picks, Washington over Arizona. That's my blowout of the week. Baltimore over Houston. Give me Chicago over the Green Bay. Let me get the Raiders. Would you call that an upset over the Broncos? Well, either way, I got the Raiders over the Broncos. Philly over New England. Give me Miami going to Los Angeles and beating the Chargers. Seattle over LA. And for the last two games, both New York teams are going to get the win this week one.
Okay. All right.
I can't tell if that's either for your hate of Dallas or you really think Daniel Jones is that guy, but all right.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As I stated, I already got the Chiefs, right? You know what I mean? Falcons, Panthers. I mean, who do you think? We better beat this rookie. No offense, Bryce. I love you. But I hate you at the same time. Texans versus the Ravens. It's gonna be a closer game than people think, actually, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Bengals versus the Browns. Give me the Brownies, man. Yeah, I did it. Buccaneers versus the Vikings. Yeah, give me the Vikes. Saints versus the Titans. Chris, you're right. That's a tough one, but I'm going to go with the Saints. Jags versus the Colts. Dare I? No, give me the Jags. Give me the Jags. Yeah. Okay. 49ers versus the Steelers. I'm gonna go. That might be game of the week. Man. Ooh. I feel like Kenny Pickett's in a situation where Jalen Hurts was last year. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Let me check the comments and think.
Oh my
god. Ray, my twin, what's up? Oh man. Dang. This one is tough. I think this might be game of the week. All right, you know what? I'm gonna make a pick here. Jesus. Ooh. Okay, where are they playing? Are they in San Fran or in Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
All right, I'll let that be the deciding factor. I'll go with the Steelers here.
Yes.
I'll go with the Steelers here.
Hey, why am I mad about it? I'm supposed to win these picks.
I'll go with the Steelers there. Yeah, give me the Commanders. Do the Cardinals even still play football? Or anyway, Broncos versus the Raiders. Come on, Sean. Show me something, Sean. Show me that you can coach. Okay? Give me the Broncos. Dolphins versus the Chargers. Give me the give me the Chargers. Give me the Bolts. Yeah, I'll take the Bolts here. Give me the Eagles over the Patriots, even though it's going to be a closer game than people think. Packers versus the Bears. That's going to be my explainer, so I'm going to come back to that. Rams versus the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. Cowboys versus the Giants. Give me, give me the G-Man, man. I'm with you, Chris. Give me the Giants. I'm with you there. Bills versus the Jets. Ooh. No Von Miller. I'm going to go. I think there's still a little gelling that needs to happen, so I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm going to go Buffalo here. Sorry, Juan. I'm going to go against my head here and go with my heart. And I'm going to say Buffalo. I'm going to say Buffalo. Packers, Bears. My explain game. All right. Jordan Love. Yeah, it's his time. It is his time. Oh, we got more comments. Can't wait to see Jets and Bills beat the crap out of each other. Yes, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be.
Can't wait to see it, man. You know, like Ray, I know you're a Dolphins fan, and I feel my sympathy to you, my guy. But you're finishing third in this division, no matter what.
Shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. Pew pew. Wow. All right. Packers Bears. Jordan Love, time is now. No more Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love, you are the guy. Okay. With all the controversy of them drafting you where they drafted you and all of those different things, you got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for the past 3-4 seasons. And I hope you were soaking up some information and gleaning as much as you could, because it's your time now, sir. You are the man. There's nothing else to be said. It is your time. You've got some weapons around you. You got Aaron Jones. You got A.J. Dillon. You got a pretty good, solid defense, you know. What you going to do with it, player? What you going to do? The Bears, Justin, is this year the year that you take the leap? Will it happen? I think so. I think you're going to win the MVP. I think you'll at least be in consideration for it. We saw what you did last year with no arm, like you couldn't throw the football, and you put up some numbers. You kept your team in the games. You guys were competitive, and you couldn't even throw the football. Now you add in one of the best weapons, in my opinion, in the NFL to your roster in DJ Moore. Listen, man. The stage is set. The stage is set for you to be the guy, to show, yeah, Ohio State can produce quarterbacks. We actually can do it. So show me what you got, man. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Jordan Love? This is a battle of the quarterbacks who are like, you've been there for a while, but you ain't done nothing. Now it's time to put up or shut up. And I'm going to go with the MVP. I'm going to go with the Bears over the Packers. I think it's going to be a blowout, actually. Give me 35-10 Bears. I said it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 35-10. All right. We're going to wrap this up really quickly, all right, with Hot Take Saturday. Hot Take Saturday. I need your hot takes, okay? I need some hot takes. Make them spicy. Chris, I hope you're ready with your hot take because I'm coming to you. Numero uno. What is your hot take?
All right. Well, first off, Jerome, I know you're listening. I need for Michigan to blow out your team today because I got some money on the line on y'all. So
we do not condone betting here inside the hatches, but no.
Yeah. If you have an issue, that 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, funny thing is, I have the Dolphins winning the division. Of course, if Tua stays healthy. Just worry what it's going to look like when Roger needs to take a trip back into the darkness. Ooh, that's
when it's all he'll see is darkness.
Ooh. Pew pew! The shots are being fired, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, hot take.
Hot take. All three starting rookie quarterbacks will have over 300 yards passing in week 1.
Oh, I like that. That's a hot take for sure. I like that.
Bryce Young, A-Rich, CJ.
I like
300.
That.
Hashtag 300.
That's a hot take. Not for Bryce Young necessarily. I mean, the guy is. I mean, he's proven that he can ball. But the other two, that question mark. I like it. I'm not mad at it. One hot take. Drop it on us.
Okay. Hot takes. What can I take here? You know what? Mac Jones is going to feel the pressure so much to try to perform week 1 that he is going to throw 2 picks in the first half to the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's going to be benched for Matt Corral by the start of the second half.
Ooh, wow. Ooh.
Because Tua's missed games against the Jets or the Patriots.
Yeah, this is funny. You guys need a podcast yourselves. That is hilarious. This is.
I don't think I saw Tua play against the Jets in both games last season.
That's lovely. I love it. All right, my hot take, ladies and gentlemen. Even though I have the other team winning, and I'm going to stick with it, my hot take is that we're going to have an upset here. The upset is going to come from Tampa Bay. They are going to blow out the Vikings 35-7. They're going to snap on the Vikings. The Vikings are not going to know what to do with the Buccaneers. It's going to be ugly, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Jefferson, who? They are going to walk them down. I said it. That's my hot take, ladies and gentlemen. That is it.
Did you just pick Minnesota? Yeah, no, you literally picked Minnesota.
I did. But whatever.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Ray.
That's why it's a hot take. This is why it's a hot take. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in to the Air It Out podcast. We have enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have. But do me a favor, please follow us on all your social media platforms. That's Facebook. That's Instagram, Inside the Hashes, and Twitter is Inside Hashes. Please do me a favor and go follow those handles, but also go check out the website, www.insidethehashes.com. That way you can get all of your player content. That's right, like literally player interviews and blogs and highlights and fantasy football. I'm winning this year. Y'all pray for me. Anyway, go to the website, check it out. And then once you're done doing that, please do me a favor. Go on over to the YouTube channel. Do me a favor and hit subscribe, hit the like button, and then do me one more favor and hit the notification button. Hit that little bell there, That way you can know when we go live, and then you can get your comments put in on the show as you've seen from Mr. Ray. Oh, and my father. What's up, Pop? And my mother. Love you both. You guys are the best. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. You can actually get all that stuff by just scanning that QR code right there. That one. I got it right this time, guys. I got it right. I didn't have to, figure it out. I think I'm getting better at this. But anyway, for Christopher Thomas, for the Juan plus Juan. Well, not yet, but anyway, the Juan plus One. My name is Avery. This is the Air It Out Podcast brought to you by Inside the Hashes. And let me just tell you this. If Matt Ryan would have stopped petting the football, wouldn't have still been in the league. It's all I'm saying.
Matt Ryan is going to lead the league in sips of water from the analyst desk.
He'll average 28 sips